Hello, beautiful people. Today we are gathered here to watch me ramble about my recent read, which has been The Omniscient Reader, or The Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint on Webtoon that I read. Disclaimer, I think this will be my first review on the channel, and although this is a booktube channel, I would like to say that I'm just gonna put out whatever I am doing. It's not necessarily just books. It may be webtoon, manga, or even anime or TV shows. It's not centered around books. Basically, me sharing what I'm doing with my life and taking recommendations from you guys in the comments, and it's kind of that feedback loop where we're just making each other's existence less miserable. Apparently, my first review on the booktube channel would be webtoon. But in my defense, it's in Goodreads. It counts. It does count in my heart. Moving on. I have read until chapter 75 till now. These are all available on Webtoon, by the way. I don't have that coin for the coin pass, so even though I wish I did. So that encapsulates volume 1, 2, and 3 till now. Volume 5 has been announced, but also the epilogue, but I don't know if they'll be able to wrap it up so quickly. Without just rambling on, let me just get on with the premise. The premise is, my notes, hello. Basically, a reader, Kim Dokja, I think. Oh, by the way, disclaimer for pronunciation. I promise to butcher everything. I am so sorry. I am disorganized. Okay, the main character is Dokja Kim, and he has been reading this serial web novel, like, imagine Wattpad, but he's been reading that one story for 10 years, and it has 3,500 and something chapters, and it has been going on for 10 years. I'm trying not to curse. At first it had some popularity. The first chapter has 1,200 readers, I believe, and it just kind of trickled down until chapter 50, where there are like only 12-ish readers, and up till chapter 100 there are only 2 readers. But after that, for 3,500 plus chapters, Dokja Kim, oh whatever, you get me. Dokja has been reading this alone with the author, and the setting is that today is the last day. Like, today is the epilogue of this story. The story is 3 Ways to Survive the Apocalypse, TWSA for short. I don't know if I'm remembering it correctly, and forgive my hands, I don't know what to do with them. Finger guns, I guess. Okay, back to story. Yes, very interesting. So, as the epilogue, as a gift, after the epilogue, the author reaches out to him. He's like, they're like, thank you for reading this. Thank you for being here with me for all this time. My serial web novel has been finalized for a private show. It has won a contest, and it's gonna be privatized. It's gonna be pay for read, and yeah, he just gets an EPUB version of the whole thing. Mosquito. I didn't catch it. I'm not like Obama. Anyways, I've been rambling for 6 minutes, and I still haven't got to I still couldn't finish explaining the story. Oh wow. Okay, moving on. We're not gonna mention that. We're not gonna check the time limit. There isn't any. I can take as much time as I want. yeah, you're basically hostage. So the free trial is over, and apparently the free trial for life is over, and now starts the apocalypse. And Dokja, basically it's Korean for the word reader. So reader has just notices that everything, like every occult incidents are lining up with that start of that novel, and it's like, oh my goodness, am I in the novel? And since it is an apocalyptic novel, you know, it's not a good time. So for now, the free trial of life has ended, and it's a pay to win. It's basically, I would describe it as a mix between Squid Game and the Hunger Games. It's not as much based on the concept as it is on the execution, because in the Squid Game, spoilers I guess, the players, they have to play because of the money, and they just get the money, and people die for the enjoyment of the VIPs. And in the Hunger Games, it's a battle royale situation where 24 people are just thrown into the arena, and they just have to battle it out for the enjoyment of the capital. So here there are beings, higher beings called constellations, and they are the VIPs, they are the capital of this world, and everyone is in the arena of this apocalypse. They will get certain tasks, the tasks being the similar to Squid Game. They have to survive the scenarios, which is like difficulties that are thrown into their way, similar to Hunger Games. And there are sponsors, there are sponsor constellation that can sponsor you. You have to pick one constellation, and the first qualifier to exist in this world is to kill a living organism, and the world is thrown into chaos, and people are murdering each other, blah blah blah. And yeah, so basically it's the same, the 3 ways to survive the apocalypse, but it has come to reality, and Dr. Kim knows everything that might be going on. Or, you know, he basically knows the future, and hence the title, The Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. And have you ever asked the question where you'd like basically really want to get into the book, the fantasy world, and what it would be like? Yeah, is that basically your wish come true? Except I don't really believe you'd like to be here or not. Okay, so that's about it for the synopsis, I guess. Please check out Goodreads. I am not a reliable reviewer, if you hadn't noticed. Oh, by the way, the real protagonist of the Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint would be Yoo Jung-hyuk. Again, I'm sorry if I haven't pronounced it correctly. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I should be here, but here I am. And then Dr. Kim has to survive with the fact that he's not the actual protagonist. There is another one, and he has to kinda changing the timeline just by being there, and at times he has to play the part of the protagonist. And yeah, he basically kills one of the side characters just because that side character infuriates him. There's this one edgy teenager that kind of kills, just like boom boom, oh, I've got a kill, boom, I'm killing people. And then this guy, like Dokja, he just comes in and then kills the side character, and that kind of changes the whole timeline. And That's amazing, by the way. And he has to deal with the consequences of saving some characters and taking them as side characters, but killing off other characters that are relevant to the plot, and how these changes. And it's so interesting to see the twists and turns. Like, well, when Doctor was like, oh my goodness, I know what's gonna happen. Oh, it's gonna happen. And then it doesn't. Something else happens, and he has to deal with them by the knowledge that he has of the world, and he has to slither away, slither to through the edges to find a way to survive and to beat the game. And I don't really know what happens to the end. I've just read up to volume 3 or chapter 75. But yeah, I'm just gonna go with my favorite scenes and favorite characters. My favorite character are, again, forgive me for not pronouncing it correctly, but Jung Hee-won, I think, and Lee Gil-young, or Jil-young. I think it's Gil-young, by the way. Should I have Google translated it? Anyway, so these two are the main. I really wish I could show you the things I want to show you, because the art is so pretty. You know, the webtoon doesn't allow for screenshotting, but there's some amazing art. You're just looking out into the city with all the stars, and oh my goodness, I really wish. And then there are some awesome fighting scenes. Oh my goodness. Back to point. Oh lord. So Lee Gil-young as a kid. He's maybe 15. He's like basically a teenager, and he basically, Dr. Kim just basically saves that kid's life, and he was supposed to die, but now he's alive, and now he's a side character. Blah blah blah. And yeah, I'm just gonna why he's my favorite character. It's kind of spoilery, but not really. But I'm still gonna just postpone it to the major spoilery portion. Like, it's not gonna be that major, but still, you know, just in case. And the other one is Jung Hee-won. She's not. Her character is just so. Anyways, so where was I? Alright, Jung Hee-won. She's amazing. She's an amazing sword fighter. That's all I'm gonna say. And there was a certain time that they were playing kings and shit. Please censor everything. I don't want to get on the algorithm's bad side, especially since I'm a newbie and I don't have an audience. I think. I don't know. Everything is pre-recorded, by the way. Like, every single thing. If you want, like, urgent updates or instant updates, then you can check out the community page or something. I don't really know. Can you tell that I don't know what I'm doing over here? Okay. Oh, new haircut, by the way. My favorite scenes. Next. It's kind of spoilery, like, this scene is from volume 3, I believe. Jil-young, right? He's a tiny little baby, like baby teenager, like baby of the group, right? And everyone's like, oh my goodness, we have to protect his innocence and whatnot. Like every single one. Okay, spoilers. This dude, he knows me so well. He is me. I get him so hard. Basically, they have to complete a challenge for like the king's court. You'll know when you get to the 4th scenario. Everyone's like, oh my goodness, we have to face so many enemies. And he's like, we have to kill them. I was like, oh no. What is this monster child? And I loved it. And there is a reason. There's a valid reason Dr. cannot kill organisms of the same species, but he's not that type of character. It's like, oh my goodness, I cannot get rid of my humanity and whatnot. I cannot get rid of my morals. I have to stick to them, even though the world is falling apart. No, he is like the morally gray character to its truest end. And one quote from his character that's really stuck with me, and I'm paraphrasing here. I quote, quotation mark, I'd rather you think about morals while being a hypocrite rather than giving up your humanity completely. I'm paraphrasing, I don't really remember it. It's been 2 days that I have read it, but that really hit me, like, really good, because yeah, people make mistakes, people slip sometimes from their moral compass, but that really doesn't mean that it's all over for you. You still have chances for redemption, and the fact that you are still thinking of being a good person, even though you're a hypocrite, that, I don't know, it's just, it's a really good quote. Good check. Basically, Dr. cannot kill for reasons that I will not mention, and he's just memeing, like, killing, like, paralyzing people. He's just like going with a sword and just leaving a trail of paralyzed bodies behind, and then, like, paralyzed, like, he cuts the nerves of people, like, then they, like, can't move and stuff. He can maim them, but he cannot kill them for a reason. And then this kid, oh my goodness, I love this kid. Okay, he has a replica of the Hammer of Thor Mjolnir. I think that's how it's pronounced. He basically has the Hammer of Thor, like a replica, that is, and he just goes, what up, with the skull, and it just goes, it's so good. It's like, it's just, you know, they're just like leaving us trail of bodies, and he's just following, like, this kid, and this kid is about this much. If this kid is about this much, the hammer is like this much, right? Like, it's almost half his size. And it's just like picking it up and picking it up and just following Doctor with the trail of bodies, just bashing their brains. It's so funny, but I loved it. I really enjoyed that part. Okay, there's another part where it's the second part. I think it's on volume 2. Like, I'm just, ooh, okay, no, it's still in volume 3, but I'll just, you know, it's like coming to my first favorite scene, second favorite scene, third favorite scene. This scene is from volume 2, and I think, by the way, Doctor really has to impersonate the protagonist for this scenario, right? The actual protagonist that the video world character knows. Side characters from the video game world actually know. The character, as I previously mentioned, is Yoo Jung-hyuk. Okay, I'm just gonna call him Yu for sake of not irritating people with my ignorance. He just kind of convinces other people because the author just mentions Yu just being handsome and nothing else. It's like, he's so handsome, and, like, you know, just the vague description, like, everyone can just put, like, being like YN, like, everyone can put themselves in his perspective. So then there are these other characters who know what the character is supposed to, for some reason, spoilers, by the way. And these two characters, they just go aside, and it's like, the author just mentioned you as handsome. I don't think this guy is that handsome. And this guy hears it and is, like, so mad about it. Like, oh my goodness, these bitches are calling me ugly. He was internally throwing a tantrum over it, and I loved it. It was such a blow to his ego, and that was really comedic, and I loved it. The third scene that I liked, not the scenario, was Doctor punching Yu, or, you know, Jung-hyuk, in the cinema dungeon. There is this side quest in the cinema dungeon where basically for reasons they have to fight off against each other, and basically this character is just throwing the, you know, like the edgy bad boy vibes of Jung Hyuk, and he's thinking like, I'm all alone, there's no one who understands me, I'm all alone in this world and whatnot, and they're just like pissed off, like, I've been with you for 3,000 plus pages, like, chapters. What are you on about? You are not alone. What about your child? What about your family? Don't you care for them? And how dare you call yourself alone when you distance yourself from other people? Like, you voluntarily, like, ignore other people for your selfish reasons, and now you dare to call yourself alone in this world. And he just punches the heck out of you, and it was so good. And side tangent, I guess, which I should have mentioned earlier, but one thing I really like about this story is it just really focuses on the reality of characters, or the reality of humans. How real are we? Like, are we a story of someone else? Because it's okay to enjoy bloodshed or gore if it's a fictional, right? But how much fictional is this world? Is that world? Since they thought that the 3 ways to survive an apocalypse, it was fictional, they thought. And now to us, the Omniscient Reader's viewpoint is fictional. So now that I am enjoying the gore and violence, then how would I react if this was my life actually? What if I was a character in the fantasy novel? Then how would I react? And what would be my standing on morality and whatnot? And this was such a refreshing take on. It's not really refreshing. I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry, but it's just like, you know, it's become like yeah, how do you say that? What's the word? It was so thought-provoking. And to me, that I was like, and the characters are questioning, are having an existential crisis that, oh my goodness, I was living a non-fiction. It was reality to me, and now I'm here. So what makes a real character? Who are real people? What makes a person, and how do I differentiate real people from the world that I knew into characters that are just video game characters who happen to exist in here? That really hit a nerve, like in my brain cell, the non-existent one, I guess. It was so interesting to see them in that frame on my mobile phone, and just to think about my place in this universe and how real. It just makes you think, how real am I? How, like, what are the deeds I do? Like, does it really affect other people? Are the other people actually real, or is it just a figment of your imagination? You never know. Like, it's real to them, but how real are they to you? So that's an interesting point to think about. And it's been 30 minutes and I've been rambling on so far. Oh my goodness. I hate this. And I really, really, really wish to continue this. I guess I'm done. If I missed something out, it will be either in the description or in the comment, like pinned comment. And I made a weird burpee sound. I'm sorry. I'm just brainstorming if there is something else I have to say. Wow, okay, this has been my first review. If you liked it, please support the channel. You know how to do. Subscribe, like, comment, share the video with your friend, and read please read it and tell me what you thought about it. I'm really interested to know, because I really want other people to talk about it. And Hafsa doesn't really want to read it after I've just shown her, like I was just describing the, Gillian, ashing other people's brain, and it's like, no thanks, I don't really want to read it. Whatever, you psychopath, go do your own thing. But I would love if other people read it and talked to me about it. And I really hope you like it, by the way, if you picked up. And that, like, picking something up that I've recommended and people just coming up and telling me, like, hey, I really like the book that you recommended to me. And it just means so much that I might have united a reader to a story. It just gives me so much utter joy. So I'd be really grateful if you checked this story out. And yeah, bye-bye. Oh, yes, now I remember what I was forgetting about my YouTube header. So basically I did this today and I was just discussing this with my friends. Like, how is it, what could I improve and whatnot, and just Ray, the sweetest person ever, made me one. I'm gonna update it to the new thing, and it will be the new header. Go check out Ray, they're an amazing human being, and Twitter profile will be linked down below. Bye!